Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Play Battletech with no fair fights. We're freeing the prisoners, hooray! But we've been intercepted by 4 mechs. One Jenner, who is already dead, lying somewhere around here. One Jägermech, which is in my view, the worst heavy mech there is, because he's slow, he's lightly armored. He's basically an air defense turret with legs. Very, very, very slow legs in that case. He can do a lot of melee damage because he's actually 4 hard points for point defense weapons, but no arms, well, no real arms, no hand activators, so he is not very good in close combat anyway. So this guy is good at doing damage to us, but not a good mech for us to use because he's too slow and too weakly armored and, well, not what we need. The Centurion is already in pretty bad shape. However, it's not the mech we need because he's too slow. Good mech, good all-around mech, but too slow. And the Trebuchet, while being fast enough to be useful, actually this is a small catapult, or an even smaller stalker, you could say, a long-range support mech. Not a bad mech, but too small for our purposes. Our Vindicator is badly damaged, and he only has very, very little in terms of defense. So in order to change that, I'm thinking of jumping a little bit. We could jump here. We get 3 defensive chevrons. We get 4 defensive chevrons here. We're getting a little bit too close to the enemy. However, this might just be useful. We could shoot him. We could actually, we must shoot this guy here, because he is our problem. And if we get closer, we might be able to avoid some of the damage, because the enemy mainly has long-ranged weapons. Woohoo! He's unsteady. Okay. That's good because he's getting close. That means most of his long-range weapons will miss. Wonderful work on this part. We'll lose 1 evasion though, but that's okay. No problem here. And... what? What structure can you expose with a with a medium laser, sir? Okay. Okay. I will jump behind you and give you a hell of a ride. I'm pretty sure I have a few things that can hurt you pretty badly. No, I'm surprised. I was hoping for actually a little bit more than that. Okay. Let's jump. And let's give the Jägermech the final tip in the coffin so that he falls over. And then we stomp him to death. Or medium laser him to death. Activate all weapons. We're in the water, so we're running cool. And here it comes. Please hit. What? What was that? What the hell did I do? Okay. Okay. He's still bulwarked, so we cannot do a lot of damage. We will only do half damage to him. However, we could take down his leg with a combined fire, or we simply ruin this guy's day. By shooting all our weapons into his leg. We have to do at least... oh, we're only doing half damage because of the bulwark. And he has 51. Yeah, we're not doing anything here, are we? But we need to be in cover. Does not make any difference. I'm not sure if shooting him in the rear will do anything. But we can try. It's not really his rear, is it? Oh, it is. Nice. Oh boy, that must have hurt. And now comes the Lady of the Lake. Our ally, the Kintaro Lady Arano. A wonderful mech. It's fast, it's jump capable, it's everything we need and more. Oops. Sorry. Oh, we won't get the Trebuchet though. Sad, because the Trebuchet is a good mech. Good, 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 good. Your arm is still okay. I actually don't have to move that much, because I can simply shoot you to bits from here, can I? I could try to... Oh boy, he will die if we fire on him anyway, will he? I think he will. Well, let's try. Fire. No! Actually, he didn't. Tough little cookie. Okay, I think we jump again, because jumping is good. We could try to aim at his leg, though. Yeah, he's still bulwarked because he stayed not moving, which was actually a pretty good idea on his part. Okay, let's try to shoot the leg, though. Not sure if it helps anything, but... Oh boy, he's going down. We'll not be able to loot that one for sure. But we don't need him anyway. We don't need him anyway. All we need is the Jägermech, because that thing is worth a little bit. Not that we're going to use it unless we run low on mechs, but yeah. It'll do. Whoa, you're in bad shape, my friend.
Yes, Commander.
Ah, you know what? I could shoot at your leg, can I not? What is the shape of your leg? 41 to 51. And if I blow up your torso, you will die from the ammo explosion, because it will transfer into the main body. I don't want that to happen, will I? Okay, so I tell you what we're doing. We're standing right here, not moving an inch, and giving all the love to your leg.
Roger. Reporting critical hit.
Knock down. Pilot injured again. But the pilot is not dead yet, which means that Lady Kintaro will do herself the honor and finish the guy off. Actually, that's our kill. What is she doing? Whoa. You're brutal, ma'am. The prison is ours, thanks for the assist, Lady Rano. I have Sumaya bring us down for the victory celebration. There will be no celebrating, not what after I saw here. Gods, Darius, the things the director has done to those people. Chimera, I need you to meet me in the prison hospital right now. What is it? Better you see for yourself, and Chimera, prepare yourself. It's not going to be easy. Well, I think they're going to find a relative. Does she have relatives? We can loot. Yes, 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 please. Oh boy, the quick draw is okay. All the mechs are okay. That's good to know. The Vindicator is a little. Actually, it's heavily damaged on the torso, but that's life. We take ourselves the Jägermech because we want that, and we already have one piece of Jenner, but actually. That is not very fast. That is even worse. How fast are you? I better do not ask. Oh boy. So the trebuchet isn't that slow. Maybe that's the answer for the question today. Nothing useful. And we get the Jenner part. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see what they have for us. The Jägermech is 10 tons heavier than the trebuchet, but the trebuchet... However, we could theoretically use the Jägermech to take down people because of the stability damage. By the time our forces found him, it was too late. I'm sorry, Khmer. What?
He
was here.
here. All this time.
All this time. Oh crap. That's our Raju. That's our teacher. You're kidding me. He got out of that thing alive? And he was in there for 3 years. Oh boy, we suck. What kind of intel do you have? That you didn't know that? Man, you're crap. The Arano restoration, the icebox, wealthy. Chimera, I'm so sorry. I know how much mischief mean to you. He was a friend and a mentor to us both. He was more than that. The old man was like a second father to me, and my uncle condemned him to waste away on this rock. Well, that's really a waste, because he was an exceptional mech warrior. To die, wrenched and broken, in agony. We will avenge him. We'll avenge him together. There is no coming back from what I've witnessed here today. What we're done here is monstrous. What they have done here is monstrous. It's inhuman. Well, what we did to the Jägermech was monstrous as well. Our intel was wrong, Alexander. The icebox isn't a prison. It was a meat grinder. Gods, my own family is behind this. And what's left of mine has chosen to look the other way. It isn't an easy thing to walk your head around. Try to remain focused. We just liberated the director's hostage. With a single blow, you shattered your uncle's hold on the founding houses. The prisoners we have set free are already calling you the Sword of Restoration. Well, more the mech of restoration. We need to spread this message all the way to Coromir, to galvanize our supporters and weaken Espinosa's popularity there. Galvanize our supporters. I like the sound of that. It won't be an easy process. For the last 3 years, those who loved House Arano have been keeping their heads down. We won't break them that overnight. In truth, an appreciable percentage of Coromir's population supports Director Espinosa. In centralizing power, he improved the quality of life on the throne world considerably, and people will forgive a great deal for security and comfort. Our victory in Veltri, we have seen what happened to those who would not be brought or indoctrinated, those who refused to kneel before a tyrant. Well, isn't she a tyrant too? When she's not elected. We know what became of the people who were made to disappear, and soon enough the entire Reach will know too. The momentum is on our side, Khmer. We need to take advantage of it. You're right, this isn't the time for hand-wringing, but Alexander, didn't you see what I saw out there on the other end of the battlefield? The work crews, all hunched and broken. The graveyards, great fields of unmarked burial spots that stretched as far as the eye could see. Every time I blink, I see it. The misery that was allowed to fester here. Background Merchant Guard. Before we met, I've traveled with a merchant caravan. We saw worse things. This place, these things my uncle sanctioned here, will tarnish the Agorian Reach forever. We must be better than that. This place is going to stay with these people for the rest of their lives. I'd do anything to be able to spare them the hurt, but I can't. Word of advice from an old veteran, Lady Rano. Focus on something you can do. Give us an order. Tell us to blow something up. Shit, use our imagination. The key is, use your imagination. The key is, do something. And you move on. Thank you, Chief Veteran. You have a good crew, Mutawa, of course. I have a new assignment for you, a reward for your service. The Argora piece on your view screen. She's in rough shape, but she appears to be space-worthy. Well, I sure hope so. For a decade, the wreck of the Argo was one of my father's most closely held secrets. When I sent you to retrieve her, I meant her to serve as a symbolic purpose, a sign of rebirth and renewal, emblazed with the Arano comfort for all to see. I was naive. This is the type for action, not for symbols. And so, Mutawar, I've decided that she will be yours to command. Woohoo! The Argo will serve as your new home. She will fly with your mercenary banner. Lord Madeira will join you to act as my liaison. In return, you will grow stronger, sharper, more flexible. You will hone your company to a razor's edge, one that I will hold to the Directorate's throats. In that case, congratulations. You've got yourself a navy. Well, no, we're not a navy because that thing has no weapons. It has been settled on Kamea. Go back to the triage tent and get those wounds looked at. The conditions here are beyond unsanitary, and you will be of no use to if you die of tetanus. Our soldiers can tend to the wounded. We need you strong for the fight ahead. I will, Alexander, but not yet. Assemble our people in the country yard. There's something I need to say. We've got a ship. A big ship. Actually, a huge dropship. Sadly, no weapons. People of the Egorian Reach. I am Chimera Arano.
And I have failed you.
And I have failed you.
For
For long 3 years, Director Espinosa has imprisoned and starved
and
murdered our people.
And where was I?
And where was I?
Hiding in a palace.
Hiding in a
Light
place,
years away.
light years away.
Building support.
Building support.
Planning.
While the Directorate's secret police turned neighbor against neighbor. Made our loved ones disappear. Conscripted our children.
I wasn't here.
I wasn't here.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
The crimes
that I've witnessed here today
are
are unforgivable.
No
doubt, Director Espinosa believes that the end justified the means. Well, I believe that too. The Egorian Reach has been made strong. Well, I say that strength built on fear is brittle. The Directorate is a piper tiger, and I declare this Restoration Day to rally the true strength of our people, our resilience, and our freedom. Let worldly be a call to arms.
Join us.
Together
we will liberate the founding houses and retake
Coromir. And retake Coromir. Not because it's my birthright, but because of that. But because the Directorate crimes against you and the Egorian people will no longer be tolerated. That's what I will fight for. And I vow to fight for your freedoms to my dying breath. To be your leader. Because of birthright. Right? Oh boy. This is not going well. Well, as long as we get paid and a dropship. Hello again, my mercenary friends. Before you officially take possession of the Argo, I want to introduce myself in person. We never really got a chance to meet properly on Axillus. So, I am Dr. Farah Murad. Or just Farah, if you wish to prefer. It's nice to meet you, all face to face. What the heck is she wearing? She Comstar? Okay, Doc. You too. I'm gonna call you Doc, by the way. You should probably go ahead and get used to it. It was an impressive work you did, getting the Argo fly. Between you and me, I had my doubts. Honestly, I did too. She's honest. You should have seen what the Argo interior looked like after a couple of 100 years of pirate occupation. Actually, I take that back. If you would have seen what I saw, you would never have wanted to set foot inside. Take it from me, the ship had been dislodged from bow to stern, and every meter of her has been hosed down with industrial-grade disinfectant. This ship is clean enough to eat off, I swear. Clean is good, space birth is better. You sure the Argo is ready for action? Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's here, isn't she? All the way from Lirton, with a Navy decompression event in sight. With a Navy decompression event in sight. Don't worry, Commander. I wouldn't endanger my crewmates by putting them on an unsafe ship. I've got professional standards to maintain. New crewmates? Do you know something we don't? Didn't Lady Arano not say? I'm coming with you. You'll need me if anything goes wrong with the ship. Not that it will, mind you, but you know, just in case. Oh, and Darius, I'm sorry about all the shouting back on the Axillus. As it turns out, getting shot by pirate puts me on the edge. No hard feelings. Not at all. Keep this beast flying, and you can yell at me as much as you want. Hell, I'm used to it. Welcome to the family. You too, Lord Madeira. I've never imagined we would work together, but I'm glad to have the opportunity. As I am, Mr. Oliveira. Over the years of your exile, Lady Arano told me a great deal about you and your company. All of it good. Even before the events of the coup, she knew about Markham's marauders. Your assistance here in her father's Fidger campaign did not go unnoticed. It was a job, Lord Madeira. We only did what High Lord Tamati paid us to do. Still, it feels good to be appreciated, and you know that someone out there still remembers Commander Markham's name. That was the guy that was killed when we started the story. You'll be a welcome addition aboard the Argo, Lord Madeira. Thank you, Commander Navarre. Speaking of which, you have some time to break your new ship before Lady Arano is ready to move for Panzer. She needs to consolidate our forces on Beltley and replaces our losses with fresh volunteers. Remember her orders. You sharpen your company and grow strong. And now that you have a mobile command center worthy of the title, I suggest you use it. I get you a fresh batch of contracts to look over, Calderon. The whole River periphery is our oyster now. We won't be limited by depths or travel restrictions. I think we went that before. Excellent times, I gotta say. Exciting doesn't begin to describe it. I'd rather get into a fist fight with an Atlas than let us get trapped again. I'm right here with you, boss. I'm gonna feel goddamn good to spread our wings. Speaking of which, shouldn't we go about the new ship? It's absolutely enormous mech bay in there, and it's got my name written all over it. Damn right it does, Yang. You heard him. Take your stations, everyone. We're free agents until Lady Arano calls for us. There is money to be made. The Argo is not in good shape, Commander, but with time, money, and some of Chief Verton's technical resources, we can address one of the most major problems. Maybe even take his piece nice. Maybe even make this piece nice again. I'm engineering if you want to know more. Lady Arano said she wanted us stronger. With these mech facilities, we finally have the resources to do that. Bring me scraped mechs from missions and shops, and I'll rebuild them into fighting machines. And remember, boss, when it comes to mech, bigger is usually better. Woo!
That mech you wanted is back online.
The Jägermech S highly specialized at long-range autocannon fire support. It doesn't have much in the way of protection or closer range weapons, though so keep distance and out of harm's way. Okay, the fire starter will go into... So this is the Argo. Ah, there are pieces missing. There are pieces missing! Okay, I don't think there are any new pilots here. Whoa, look at that. Guts 6. Guts 5. Interesting. Store. They sell an Enforcer piece. Now look at that. 50 tons. Very fast. Good mech. Could like that. They're selling AC-10s, AC-20s, LM-20s, PPCs, SRM-2s, heat sinks, but actually nothing special. Command center looks a lot bigger. Does he know anything new? Okay, where are you from? That is the normal talk. Let's just get through the talking. Perhaps there is... No, this is just the tutorial. We don't need that. I did have that privilege, yes. I don't know him as well as you did. He's talking about the old leader. But we're together in the trenches in the Federal campaign, and I raised a glass with Sirenju at the canteen more than one occasion. When you think of the old man, what jumps to your mind? Family. The old man was so damn proud of his family and heritage. There wasn't a drop of noble privilege in his veins, but Montgomery's name was carried weight. Hard as nails since the dawn of time, his father used to tell him. Those were his family words and personal creed. I can personally attest to that accuracy. When we were fighting alongside the Royal Guard on the Valdir campaign, a pirate-driven hunchback managed to flank us. Decker was piloting a Locust at the time, and the bastard took his leg clean off. The Locust went down hard, and Decker blacked out. He was a dead man. There is nothing we could do to keep Hunchback from pulling a foot through his cockpit, and it would have if Master Chief hasn't come along charging with his Centurion. His first punch took the Hunchback's main gun clean off, and the Hunchback has only one main gun, and this is the 80-20. He was totally matter-of-fact about it. It wasn't desperate swing or punning a move, it just claimed he put his fist into the pirate map and pot, grabbed it and wrenched it free from his moorings. It was like, I don't know, like watching a farmer uproot a tree stump, you know, workmanlike. And all the while, we could hear the pirate over an open channel screaming and cursing as he desperately tried to fight back. The old man took the Hunchback apart, piece by piece. Imagine a veteran prizefighter looked in a cage with a snort-nosed kid, with no rules and referees inside. He put on a clinic for everyone to see. The rest of the pirates rank broke and fled when they saw what happened to their friend. Can't say I blame them. In their place, I would have done the same. Boy! Did he ever show you that enormous knife he used to carry? He used a knife? The Kukri? Oh, he was, British Special Forces from India. Oh, I missed the name, but they used those. Don't you see many of those outside the Free World's Liege? These days, Kukri blades are mostly associated with the 4 regular hussars. No Master Chief, though. He claimed that he inherited the curved blade beauty from his grandfather, who inherited from his grandfather, and so on, all the way back to the family's origin on Terra. What are they called? They're the special forces of the English army, only fielded or only taking volunteers from one area in India. Oh boy, I don't get the name, but I have it on my lips. During the fun campaign, Isam used that blaze against a pirate twice his side, split this bastard's skull like a rotten cantaloupe. It was horrifying and beautiful at once. You don't see that kind of skill every day. Thanks for the talk. Okay.
You know where to find me. What do you need?
And you, Commander Navarre, welcome to the command center. From here I can provide Mr. Olivier with advice and information whatever he needs it. I want to be a resource for you as well, keeping my role as restoration liaison. I will be giving you whatever additional information I can give you about our campaign moving forward. Come to see me after any major operation. I will share what I can. I like to state that is where the war. It's going well, Commander. Our initial attack on Vertley was an enormous success, despite the psychological cost of what we have discovered there. Still, the authorities have steered our resolve. I've never seen a lady around us so determined. Out of curiosity, Commander, what do you think of her speech? I recorded it, you know. The broadcasts are on their way to every corner of the Directorate's base. It sounded raw, from the heart. Master Chief must be proud. Good, that's what I was hoping to hear. The presumption of authenticity will carry us far. For what it's worth, Lady Rondo meant every word she said. But the people here may not see that way. Espinosa's propaganda machine will do everything in its power to tarnish our accomplishments and drag us into the dirt. I can imagine the headlines now. Police and civil servants cut down by weapons of war. Dangerous convicts set loose by a traitor, endangering nobles and commons alike. A dangerous narrative, and one will have to counter on every turn. With luck, many of our people will believe that they've heard in our broadcast over the Directorate's propaganda, but I fear that Espinosa's hardline supporters will be far less eager to listen. If we fail to return to turn them against the Directorate will run the risk of ongoing violence even after we liberate our home system. That's why messages like Karama's speech are so important. If the Director is using propaganda, we need some of our own. Got it. Sadly, yes. If we're going to win this war, we need to rally the Ogorian people, including a percentage of Experna supporters. We have seen that they're better than the... they have to see that we're better than the Directorate again and again until our message is impossible to ignore. For you, that means military victories. For me, it means more broadcast, spin and outreach. Public opinion is just like another battlefield, and I'll knee-deep in the trenches until the day I die. You're new on this crew, so tell me about yourself. You're a noble, right? I'm happy, but honestly, Commander, I've been so consumed with method of warlade, I don't know where even to begin. Tell me about where you were before Kemari's exile and the restoration. Noble, Sicken, much the same where you were, from what I understand. As a fellow noble, I'm sure that you already know most about my upbringing. It was a life of great privilege and even greater expectation. I'm noble? I spent my early days invested in academic pursuits, the study of history, mathematics, and statecraft. I strove to excel at every subject, everything to avoid disappointing my mother and father. The extent to which they would come to disappoint me is cruel irony. But that's not But that's what I have to accept. What kind of expectation did you meet? You know House Maderia's motto, "Behold our splendor." I had a family obligation to live extravagantly, and to do so with a public eye. I was so expected to develop my intellect. My life was a 50-50 split between carousing and academic study. In truth, I felt like I was living two lives, putting on a show in both. But I've never complained about my upbringing. I've enjoyed the advantages that most children of the periphery would not even dream of. It must be hard to have your own parents betrayed you. Oh, it's nothing could be... Oh, it is. Nothing could be harder. When Camaraderie takes the throne, there will be a reckoning, and the Directorate collaborators will be tied for their crimes. My mother and father will be at the front of the list, and as terrible as it feels to say, they deserve whatever punishment they receive. Oh boy, you're harsh. Tell me about Guldera. What kind of world is it? It's a beautiful one. You should travel there sometime after all this is over to see it yourself. Imagine lush green lowlands giving away a mile upon mile of white sand coastline, sandy beaches kissing by warm salty seas, and soft rain perfumed with saffron and cardamom. And that's not mention the wildlife. Close your eyes, Commander, imagine it. Shield tents wielding and soaring, the pillion plumage glittering in the sunlight, leviathan sablefish flashing silver beneath the waves, dolphinfish leaping, breaching the surface of the water in rudderless streaks of yellow and green. Ooh. Okay. Good, we know everything we want. What missions do we have available? Logistical brain-down ambush and convoy? A lot of loot. And assassinate. Ooh. Barracks. Mech warriors. We should have some... Oh, new barracks. Nice. We should have some points to distribute, should we not? No, we don't. Not enough here. Not enough here. Not enough here. Boy, I really want more health. No, we don't. We need the points, I know.
Yep. Good to go.
Okay.
Orders?
Nothing even really to spare here. The mech bay.
Check out this mech bay.
How does it look?
Pretty great, right?
The Vindicator is still damaged, but we have another group of mechs upcoming. The engineering. Ooh. Commander Nawar, what can I do for you? Okay, patching up the Argo must be an enormous job. How do you do it? She looks a little bit stable from this point of view. Oh, it wasn't just me. I have a team working under me. Over 200 of Leatherden's most accomplished engineers, electricians and shipwrights. It was really pretty amazing, I kind of say, shouting at that megaphone at a team of hundreds, watching them to hang on my every word. Did Lady Arano pay you all for that? For all that? Oh, it wasn't Lady Aramo. The payments come directly from House Cantrella. You're a spy. It was a figure of speech. There were indirect payments, of course, routed through countless intermediaries to obscure where the money was coming from. But yeah, the Cantrellas paid for it. Now, as how much the Cantrellas paid, I honestly have no idea. I'm sure the figure was astronomical, but still cheaper than getting dragged into an unwanted war, right? If this ship's turned out to be as important as Lady Arana thinks it will, then the money was well spent. Had you ever managed a team that big before? Never in my wildest dreams. Prior to my time in the Lyran's shipyard, the biggest team I've ever managed was a crew that I had me at Axelos. They all got killed. This job was a lot better than the one I did, by the way. Only 3 deaths across the entire project. And before you ask, none of them was my fault. The other were your fault? There was an accident with one of the industrial cranes, and well, it was horrible. I pray for their souls. Oh boy. I have some questions about the ship. What can you tell me about the Argo? A fair amount, Commander. I've been researching the ship for several months. Boeing Interstellar produced just 2 of these beauties back in 2762. They were intended to follow behind the first wave of exploration missions, supporting multiple surveyor, terraformer, and colonizing teams on deep survey missions. Surveyor. Although she is far too large to land on a planet, her docking collar systems allows for smaller dropships like the Leopard to come along for a ride. The Argo is a mobile space station in a sense, providing supply and temporary habitation for teams on dangerous missions in unsettled space. An exploration vessel or not, she sounds ideal for our purpose. She is, with 57,000 tons of cargo space. She has all the room we need for supplies, spare equipment, personnel, you name it. In fact, her hull was so vast that she had no trouble storing as many mech chassis and partial mech salvage as you can get your hands on. Why don't we see more ships like the Argo out there? There is the Mammoth. The Argo was a product of her era. She lacks the armor and more maneuverability to function in battle. She is vastly outclassed in size and firepower by even the smallest warships. She is a peacetime ship meant for peacetime exploration and duties, planned with a focus on long-term orbital deployment. It was her non-combat design that ultimately led to her abandonment. In an earlier era she might have widespread use, but with the fall of Starleech and their near constant state of war we induced since, it was rendered the Argo little more than forgotten experiment, footnote in the history of dropship production. Sadly, really. In her own way, the Argo represents the backseat of science and exploration have taken pursuit of military goals. Okay. Now there is a tutorial, we don't need that. And where do you come from? Say Comstar. Well, I'm a actual doctor, but not the medical kind. I hold 2 doctorates, one in physics and the other one in mechanical engineering. And now I'm hauling around in a Lost Tech Wonder with a crew of merry pirates, seeing my fortune. It's funny the places life takes you. Oh, I got the elevator pitch. Now give me the long version. Sure, if you like. You see, where to begin? I was born in Regulus, the Free World's League. My parents were academics, I know, big surprise. And I spent most of my early days bouncing back and forth between the subterranean apartment and the Fredovsky, my Baba June's live-in dropship. Your Baba June? What's that? My grandfather. He carved out a little business for himself, running a taxi service for pilgrims traveling from the Dar es Salaam. She's not Comstar. She's a Muslim. As much as my father founded on Baba Yun's old-fashioned lifestyle, believe he wasn't blinded how much I loved the old man, and so he occasionally consent me aboard the Fedorovsky to go along for the ride. It was only my cherished of memories of those voyages. The warmth behind Baba Yaga's smile, the excitement leaving regulars behind, chatting with the pilgrims, getting lost in the stars, eating pre-patches, pheasant, whatever that is, out of a shiny tin. Those times are crystal clear in my memory as they happened yesterday. Oh, I miss the wonderful man. May seem silly, becoming from a mercenary engineer, but I've come to think of the life I've chosen by the way of honoring my Baba Yun. By carving my own path among the stars, I'm going what I can do to keep his memory alive. It sounds like tittle, but I'm sure, sue me, that's what I've chosen. What about your left home? Where did you study? I spent a little time in the Lyrian Commonwealth before I pursued my studies. Long story, but suffice to say it was our own kind of learning experience. Then I decided to get higher education. I wound up back in the Free World's Liege. I did my undergrad studies in the University of Arterus. When they went to Sion University in the Capellan Confederation. Oh boy, to earn my doctorates. And, well, actually there is a connection between the Liaos and the Capellan Federation. Later on in the timeline, the leaders will marry. Well, some of the leaders will marry. For a top 3 school with the I cannot speak that name, but I can tell you that it is the secret police of the House Liao. Administration process. CNU was slightly surprised to open transfer to students. Anyway, I could go on for hours about my academic career, but you probably smile and nod as I ramble on. But come on, I mean, how can this be interesting, can you? You're a mercenary. You stomp around in a giant robot for a living. It's not a robot, it's a vehicle. The closest I got to adventure back then was my deserterant defense. She's really put on weight.
Don't be a stranger, Commander.
Okay, let's look at the ship. We can do something for recreation, repair and refit. What will that do? +2 tech points will take 20 days. That's a lot. We can do power systems. That will take 10 days and is the cheapest. This will take 15 days. Okay, the first thing we do is bring power systems online. Okay, we can only upgrade one system at a time. Navigation, finances, customized company. Good. So, we'll see each other next time. Until then, bye.